Hello, my name is Jacob de Graaf. I am the owner and designer of Modern Folk Embroidery, and it has been a really long time since I last sat down and did one of those videos. It's not that I've not been busy. I've been really busy. That's always the excuse, isn't it? But it has been really exciting. We've had an amazing retreat in the UK, a Stitch in London, and for that retreat I took 7 designs with me that I released exclusively for the retreat. 2 designs were magazine designs that had been in a Dutch magazine and in a Japanese magazine, which finally saw the release there. And there was a bunch of antique sampler designs, and yes, there was a whole bunch of exciting stuff there. The retreat itself was really amazing. If you ever get the chance to go to a Stitch in London event in the UK, I would really recommend that. The patterns were also exclusive for Canada for the Stitch North retreat that is hosted by the lovely Everote, and that finished last weekend. So they have gone live on the Everote's website and on the Modern Folk Embroidery website as PDFs. So you can get most of the prints from Everote and the PDFs as usual from my website. We're gonna start with a sampler which personally is one of my favorite samplers in my personal collection. It is really special. I haven't shown it in a video, I think, yet. And I know very little of this sampler actually, but it is absolutely stunning, and it is this one. It's a Clocks sampler. Now, she is a beast. She's worked on very fine linen with very faded colors, which I think have always been very faded, to be honest with you. Very soft silks, but it's an absolutely stunning sampler, this one. I really love this one. So the clocks basically refers to these wonderful motifs that you see here. They look a little bit like a pendulum on a clock. Hence they got the name Clocks, and there's a lot of these wonderful motifs on this sampler. I'll bring it a little bit closer to the camera as well. And the fun thing is as well that this booklet has all of them charted fully monochrome, so the cover art is red, but you can stitch it in any color or colors that you like. I chose to make it monochrome because there was just so much ecru on ecru, which is just so hard to stitch. There is a photo which is very true to the colors of the original sampler in the booklet, so if you really wanted to, you can find your own silks or flosses that match these colors, and that would be really cool as well. But just have fun with it, I think, because she did as well. She just sort of used the flosses that she had, and whenever she ran out, she picked something else. This is a, I want to say, Germanic sampler, because this sampler, it could be stitched in Switzerland or in Germany. It's unclear where it was worked, and it is most likely late 18th century, possibly early 19th, but I think sort of mid to late 18th century is the most likely date on this one. And these clocks were worked for socks, so basically if you had a pair of stockings, on the sides of your stockings where the seam would meet, you would sort of stitch one of these or knit one of these patterns, which would give it extra strength, and I think that's pretty cool. So I'll show you the booklet that I have as well, which is a small booklet, which is, I only do booklets really for retreats, so you can't buy these from my website. You can only find them when I do a retreat, but that is the pattern, fully monochrome. And yes, I just really love this one. It is a big one, and it's quite nicely illustrated as well with examples of other clocks samplers. This one measures, if you were to stitch the whole full thing, right, from top to bottom, it is 280 crosses wide and 487 crosses in height, and has 35,089 crosses. So yeah, I just really love this one. That's the color version, and that's the monochrome version. So this one is called Big Socks, Big Clocks, and it is available as a PDF from my website only at the moment. It will become available in the future from Everote as well. It isn't right now, but that is the first one. By the way, I have a slightly different setup today. I'm sitting in my living room because the light was really beautiful here, and I am doing a few changes in my studio upstairs. And I thought, like, it's so messy right now, I'm trying to make a red sampler wall. I have had a lot of finishes this year. That will be another video because we have a lot to go through for new releases. The second one is also a period reproduction sampler, which is an English period reproduction sampler, and that is this one, No Bird Soars Too High. And this one is just absolutely gorgeous. I'll bring it a little bit closer to the camera as well so you can see it. I mean, it's wonderful. It's in a very, very sorry state. And this sample has been charted for full crosses. So you can import this into Pattern Keeper if you get the PDF. But there is also a version within the booklet itself which gives you the fun bits like those satin stitches, for instance, that you see, the little triangles, and the eyes which are back stitched. So it gives you those options as well, and it gives you the option to do the over one lettering, so the little quarter stitches text. Now, I wasn't too keen on this text myself, so I found a really nice quote by, what's his name? William Blake, isn't it? Yes, William Blake. I had to think about that for a second. Basically, I really liked that no bird soars too high if he soars with his own wings. So that is again, one of the print booklets that I sell on events. But that is what my version, if you stitched it full crosses. So you see that instead of satin stitches, they're just full crosses. The eyes are not back stitch anymore, they're just a simple cross. But the pattern is very true in color to the original one. And it's a spectacular sampler. I really, really love this one. It's really joyous. The funny thing is she didn't sign it, there's no date on it. It could be stitched by a slightly older girl as well, that she just did this as a little fun thing. There's no date on it, but it looks like a typical English sampler. And it will be very early 19th century, I would say, based on how it looks and the linen and everything. But yeah, that's a very exciting sampler. That is No Bird Soars Too High, and that one, technical details wise, it's not a big one. She's 157 crosses wide and 251 crosses in height, and there is a total of 8 colors. The booklet has the DMC version and the Roxy Floss conversion as well. So if you want to get all fancy, get some Roxy Floss from Caroline from Everote in Canada, because they're absolutely gorgeous to work with and they're just beautiful colors. But you can do the DMC as well, that's all in the booklet. Or you can make your own conversion, which is always very exciting as well. The next one, and this actually brings me to my Patreon page, which I am really enjoying. We've got such a wonderful large group of wonderful stitchers who have joined my Patreon page over the past months. And quite a few weeks ago already, we did our first Zoom call. I'd planned to do one earlier, but because it has been so tremendously busy, I couldn't plan it in. But not this coming Saturday, but the Saturday after that, we have a Zoom call about Scottish samplers. So I'm gonna do the presentation in a slightly altered version that I did in the UK as well, in Stitch London. There is some extra information that I'm added to the slideshows, which is exciting, which wasn't in the original presentation. So, it will be pretty much the presentation as I was doing it in London a couple of months ago. And one of the samplers, or two of the samplers I should say, that we will be talking about are the two samplers from the, and I'm really sorry, they are very transparent, the Jolly Sisters and they are really beautiful and very, very colourful, very bright. This is Janet Gibson Jolly's sampler, and she stitched it in 1890. And then I have the sampler by her sister, Susan, and she also worked her sampler in 1890, the same year. And it's quite exciting because I've found out a lot about these two girls, and I even found out their teacher and the school that they stitched these samplers, which is just really wonderful to sort of find that kind of information about these girls. So the information is all in the PDFs, these little booklets. This is one of them. Stitches at the event got the sampler worked by Susan as a freebie, and the Janet Gibson Jolly was available there as well. They are roughly, what was it again, the sizes? I'll just have a little look for you. So Janet's sampler is 191 by 199 crosses in height and width. And that's sort of the same for the other one as well. They're slightly different, but pretty much the same. So that's the Jolly samplers. I will put the details to my Patreon in the description below. Links will be sent out very soon as well for the Zoom call, which is exclusively accessible to Patreon members. And I am doing 2 Zooms. One is at 7 AM on Saturday, and the other one is 7 PM on Saturday, Central European time. Because there's quite a few people from down south that, and there is a siren blaring there. There's quite a few Australian people on the Patreon page as well, and New Zealanders and people in other time zones that wouldn't be able to make the 7 PM meeting. So I'm doing the talk twice. And I really want to do some more Zooms. It's really nice, just informal hangs as well. It's really fun to just sort of stitch and sit with people. We do that with the Sampler Guild, which is, I think the website is thesamplerguild.co.uk, and that's run by Linda Hatton, and that's just really wonderful. Nearly every week we have a meeting there as well on either Tuesday or Wednesday, and that's just really fun as well. So yes, recommended to join that as well if you are looking for a wonderful group of fellow stitchers to hang out with every week. But yes, I hope to see you on my Patreon page. Speaking of Patreon, my Patreon is not really a Patreon page where you get freebies. It's access to the stories, access to extra information about samplers. Every week I try at least one post, usually there's more than one post, and I try to sort of take photos of my sampler collection, share little stories about my travels in the Netherlands, share songs that I have done, just in general stuff that inspires me. But last week I did one of my new releases, which I'll show in a second, but I did a little freebie of this Frisian cushion from 1509, and I really like that pattern, and I thought it would be fun to just give that as a little freebie. So this one is for Patreon members. You can just look it up on the Patreon page and you will find that there. But speaking of Frisian cushions, this one is also a new release, China Roses, and this is as a PDF, and I think from Everote as well, possibly not, but that's just gorgeous. Look at that, and that would look so good stitched in a lovely sort of Delft blue colour. I know Roxy Floss has some really gorgeous blues, and this is a cushion from 1831, and it's in really good condition, which is really exciting. There's hardly any stitch loss, and the color is still quite good. Originally these would have been very, very black like the previous cushion that I showed, but due to washing and bleaching and everything, these tended to become much lighter, up to a beautiful golden ochre color sometimes even. Gosh, I have so many new releases, I have to crack on. I will show you one really exciting one, which is Annetje van der Vuurst Schoenmaker, a girl from the province of Utrecht. Now I'm going to try, and there's so much window stuff here. I think this is the least glare you get of it. But I got this one at an auction in Utrecht, and my God, just look at that. It's so fun. It is so fun. And this is from 1851, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But just look at that. And that fun deer. And the cool thing was, the sampler has just a bunch of letters on the top. And because it's like an odd number, I thought, like, that's weird. Usually parents or makers or teachers, you see a few initials. But because the second and third were VD, that's a very Dutch sort of middle wordy last name thing, so van der. And I thought, like, then after that there has to be another word in Dutch names, and that was 2. So I thought, like, could this be a girl with a very posh, long last name? So I did some searching, and there was just one girl in all of the Netherlands around that time who was 9 years old in 1851, and that was Annetje van der Vuurst Schoenmaker. And she was from Utrecht, and that's where I bought the sampler. So this is literally, without any doubt, the correct girl. So this one is available in my shop now as well as a PDF with these beautiful, fun colors. This one is also available through Everote. I think Everote has made a wonderful Roxy Floss conversion, which is not in the PDF, I believe, or is it? Let me just have a look. No, it is. I'm silly. It has a PDF Roxy Floss conversion as well. And there's some really lovely photos in the booklet as well of the village where her children would have gone to school, where she lived after her marriage, and where she grew up. So it's a really fun little booklet with lots of biographical information about Annetje and her sampler. And yeah, I mean, it makes me so happy to sort of see this colourful type of sampler. It's just so fun. We often see these samplers as very sort of, very dull colours, and there's nothing wrong with dull colours. I love dull colours, but this is sort of the colours that we usually see. And it's really fun to sort of see those really, really bright colours. I have just bought an amazing darning sampler from the town of Bergen op Zoom in Brabant, and that is absolutely stunning, and it is so tremendously bright. Speaking of darning samplers, there is a very exciting workshop / retreat in Amsterdam next year with Jean Farish. Jean Farish, the lovely Jean Farish, has asked me to join her again for a retreat in Amsterdam, and that is going to be next year. I will put a link to find out more. It's sort of on the bottom half of the page. You have to scroll down a little bit. You'll see a little picture of me and Modern Folk Embroidery, and then you can click on that one and register there. It is following her Nordic cruise this coming year, but it is not a part of the cruise. So people who are on the cruise, they can attend the workshop and the retreat, but they don't have to. And if you don't want to be on the cruise, you can also still attend the retreat. So that will be really, really exciting. And for that workshop, I will be doing a Frisian whitework sampler, worked in colour, and a darning sampler, also stitched in colour. And they will be both monochrome patterns, as you will be used to from me, as I really like doing that. They're original designs, but they are based on antique examples. So all of the motifs are taken from antique samplers from the 17th/18th century and 19th century, which is going to be very exciting to sort of make a Dutch darning sampler, which I am currently model stitching, which is so much fun to do. And then there is a whitework sampler, which is the next model stitch that I'm going to be working on. And yeah, they're just really, really fun projects. The retreat includes both the pattern for those designs and the materials. So you will get your linen and your floss to go with that, so you can work those samplers. During the workshops, I will be showing you how to do the whitework stuff, showing you the basic techniques, how to make those samplers, and I will be showing how to do the darning thing. So there's 2 days of the workshop. One will be focusing on the darning samplers, one will be focusing on the white work one. I'll also be bringing a whole stack of samplers with me, including the super colorful one from Bergen op Zoom that I have just purchased. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a really fun weekend, and I can't wait to meet people there again. So make sure to check out the link below to the Jean Farish Stitch Retreat in Amsterdam. Right, let's go to the next design. Yes, I'll do this one first. This is Elephant and Castle, and this is a new pattern I designed and stitched. I have literally been just stitching non-stop these past couple of months, and I've so enjoyed it. So this is going to be part of my red sampler wall, and this is Elephant Castle 1765, which is an original design. It is not a pattern based on anything antique. It is just sort of an amalgamation of an elephant and castle designs and stuff that I just found, and sort of decided that this would look really good together. Elephant and Castle is a neighbourhood in London and a famous metro station, I think metro train station. And the earliest mention of a public house or coach inn on this area was 1765, and it is believed that the area was basically named after this famous coach house. So yes, that is this one, and I finished this one on the 24th of April 2025. I've written that on the back because it made me quite happy. So yes, this is it was a really fun stitch. I really enjoyed it. It was a really fun border to work on, quite meditative, and then I did a little open hem finish on that as well, and I have a booklet on the open hem on my website as well. And once I had done the full border and all of that, I could start on the lettering and then blast through on the castle. And then while I was working on it and had nearly finished it, I noticed that I had made a big mistake and had to fib a little bit. So I had to add a few stitches here in this region because this was only 1 wide as it is charted, and this was 2 wide. I don't know why I had done that, but instead of frogging like the whole castle and trying to shift it 1 or 2 crosses, I thought like, no, I'm not going to do that. It's absolutely fine. I'm really happy with this piece. It is good as it is. I'm really happy with it. I'm just gonna fib it a little bit. That is Elephant and Castle, and it's out as a PDF. Let's see, what have we more? I have done the Big Socks, Big Clocks. We've done the 2 Scottish girls. We've done that one. We've done this one, the cushion we have done. I have 2 more designs. This one is Blithe Spirits. Again, this is a booklet that was released for the UK retreat. But this pattern originally was designed for, I love how I'm peeking around the corner. This was originally designed for a magazine in the Netherlands, a cross-stitch magazine, crafts magazine. And yes, I had stitched this originally in blue, and I thought it would be fun to do the artwork in red. And I actually might stitch this again so I can put it on the red sampler wall because it's a really fun pattern. And it was a fairly quick stitch as well. It was 7,281 crosses in total, so it's not too big. And it's 133 crosses wide and 115 crosses high. And yes, I just like the sort of the light atmosphere of this and the folksy atmosphere of this. Every evening we have our local blackbird singing for us here in the neighborhood, and it is such a joy to listen to them singing and have this sort of evening chorus, which is just magical. The last design, I'm quite excited how I've managed to blast through all of these because there was a lot of them. This was really, I like to sort of stagger it a little bit more, but it was just because of the retreat and because of Stitch North, all of these releases kind of piled up, and it is a lot. But yeah, here they are. This one was released a little while ago, and a lot of you will have seen this as well. It's the for the 250th anniversary of Jane Austen in December. And I don't dare to say the date. I think it's the 14th or 16th or something like that. But this December will be the 250th anniversary of Jane Austen's birthday. And I chose to stitch a quote from the novel Persuasion, which I really like. And this is a quote that so I imagine this sampler as being stitched by a 14-year-old Anne Elliot, the protagonist of Persuasion. And she used to live with her family in their ancestral home, Kellage Hall, as you can see on the top. And that is believed to be based on this grand house in England. And that was the reference model I used for this house. And then we have her parents here. And I stitched a little man and a little woman representing her parents. And then it says at the bottom, Anne Elliot, aged 14 years. And then September 1801. And this was a lot of fun to stitch. I still have to stitch it onto a backing like what I have done with the Elephant and Castle one, so it can just go on the wall. But that will happen as well. I am really pleased with how this one came out. All of these red samplers, by the way, are stitched in Falu Red, which is the Roxy Flosco red, which is my absolute favorite. It shows up a little darker, I think, on camera than it really is, but it is really, really lovely, as you can see here. Yeah, this was a fun stitch, and I sort of made it like a 19th century sampler as well, sort of like filling motifs. A lot of these filling motifs are from samplers from my personal collection. I put a little lady in an empire dress holding some fruit baskets, which I always find really fun on antique samplers. And these little star motifs are little animals and birds and little hearts. So yes, that is the Good Company. And yeah, the quote says, "My idea of good company is the company of clever, well-informed people who have great conversation." And this is said to a gentleman in the novel where Anne talks to. And I deleted the name of the gentleman as the quote would become too long. But that's the sampler. That's it for me today. This was quite the onslaught of new patterns. I hope there is something that you like in this lot. You can find all of them on my website. I will put the links in the description of the video below. I am not editing this video. I've been so busy with lots of stuff, and I find that editing and recording these videos takes up so much time, so I'm going to experiment a little bit how I can record videos a little bit more often without having to sort of sit down for hours, try and plan things out too much, and editing and putting things in. Doesn't mean that there will be not heavily edited videos in the future. There will definitely be. But for these little sit downs and show and tell type things, I think this is a good format, as it's just, it's much quicker for me to do, and in the end, it's better for you as well, because there will be some more videos. So, thank you so much for watching today. Make sure to check out the links below. If you haven't joined my Patreon, check that out as well. It's the equivalent of €2 a month. And that's just a starting price. If you want to give more, you can do that in your settings. You don't have to, but it's completely up to you. That's it for me today. I'm going to sign off. I'm going to upload this video now, and I hope you're going to be having a wonderful weekend. I hope to see you at the Zoom next Saturday, not this one, on Scottish samplers as well. For now, thank you so much for watching, and see you hopefully very soon and not in 6 months again. Bye bye.